Hey guys, Jason here. Tonight I'm going to answer the next series of questions that have come in from one of our guys out there. Today's questions come in from Dustin Martin, and it has to do with the van. Well, yeah. The first question is, I'm curious about the van's weight. I imagine it's getting quite heavy with all of the mods you have added. Do you worry about the weight at all? Dustin, do I look like a man that puts much thought and emphasis into my weight? I mean, come on, look at me. Well, when it comes to the van, I kind of lucked out. So the van was a fire department service van for about 10 years. And with that, it was used to haul and carry all kinds of heavy equipment. So the suspension on it is really heavy duty. It's not like your standard passenger van. If it was a standard passenger van, with all the things that I've been adding to it, I would probably have to address that at some point and put in a stronger suspension, something that would be rated for more weight. But because of the van's initial use when it was first put in service, gosh, 20 some years ago, it was done right from the get-go. So I'm able to add things to it and not have to worry a whole lot. The next question that he comes in with is, are you at a point where weight affects your decision making about what to install next? I think I'm pretty darn close, but the thing is, I think I'm done adding a whole lot of stuff to it, with the exception of whatever gear I'm going to take with me. I don't have any more things that I'm going to build out to it. The roof itself is completely full. I've got the light bar, I've got the solar panels, which are really light, and I went with a cargo basket that was actually relatively light. In the back, when I did the build out, all the wood that I've used has been pine, and pine is a little bit, it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit softer than some of your hardwoods. So it's not gonna add as much weight, but it still does add. Probably the biggest thing that I've put back there that I had to really think about was that solar battery. That battery weighs almost 70 pounds. And that sits on the driver's side as well. So when I'm driving, it's right there behind me. So maybe counterbalancing with a few things on the other side would be a good idea. But as far as things that I would install next, there's really nothing else that I'm going to put in there, with the exception of just things that I'm going to use to organize my space. You know, that the bed in the kitchen build out, that was the biggest thing. I finished the desk earlier today. That really didn't add a whole lot of weight. So I think I'm good to go with that. The next question is, do you ever foresee a situation where you'd have to take something off or out in order to install something else? I don't know at this point. I did do something that I think was kind of smart, kind of using some foresight. So when I'm traveling in the van by myself, I have a setup in there where I can just have a twin mattress. So it's just me, I'm back there by myself, I have a twin mattress. If I'm traveling with another person, with my wife, I actually have a second box that I'm able to put into the van, slide it in there, right next to the first box. I can pull that twin mattress out and put in a queen mattress, and I've done that before. Back over Thanksgiving, I went down to Yuma with my wife, and we had the queen mattress in the back, and it worked out just fine. I wouldn't recommend doing a whole lot of traveling or trips with two people in there because it is pretty tight. It's kind of hard to move around. But this last week, you guys saw that I went out to Quartzsite, to the Rubber Tramps Rendezvous out there, and I just had the twin mattress set up, and it worked great. There was plenty of room. I was able to get up, get out just fine, no problems. Don't have to crawl over anybody. That was pretty cool. But that's probably the only thing that I would do different, is if I was going to go out camping with my wife in the van for a couple nights or whatever, I could throw that second box that I've built into the van and switch out the mattresses. But as far as installing anything else, like I was saying, I think I'm done. Like, I've got all my solar components are in there. I've got my little kitchen in there, and everything's portable. It comes in and out. I would love to at some point put in some awesome swivel seats, but that's not going to really affect anything else, really. And the last bit of questions is, do you ever tow anything, and does it affect that? Yes. So when I went down to Yuma back for Thanksgiving, I've got a 14-foot flatbed trailer that I had two four-wheelers on, and I was able to tow just fine. I cruised down the road. Well, I kind of lie there. I was able to go down the road about 60 miles an hour and everything stayed fine. If I really tried to push it, I noticed that the van would heat up some, but it didn't have any problems getting up and going and maintaining that speed at 60, 65 miles an hour. So adding that weight, that would affect it for sure. When I went out to the Rubber Tramps Rendezvous last week, I didn't tow anything, but I was fully loaded. Probably more loaded than what I'm gonna be when I head out on the road. I mean, I had about 15 gallons of water with me. I had water that I could drink, and then also just water for cooking, cleaning, washing your hands. I had 6 bundles of firewood. I had a pop-up tent. I had my backpack with all my recording equipment. I had a lot of stuff in there. So I think when I'm on my trip, I'm gonna have a lot less stuff than what I took out there camping with me for that weekend. It'll mostly be just my audio video recording equipment. I'll have an ice chest with some food and whatnot, but all in all, I'm not too worried about it. I think I've picked the right van to do a build out in. It's plenty strong, it's plenty sturdy enough, but the one thing that I did notice, I've been trying to track my miles to figure out what my miles per gallon are. And when I went out to the RTR, I was fully loaded. There and back was about 230 miles round trip, and fully loaded, I was getting about 12 miles to the gallon. Now, that's pretty bad. I would like to bring that up a little bit. I don't know that there's much I can do. I could probably reduce my speed, and I think that was probably the #1 factor because I wasn't towing anything. I was able to go 75 miles an hour with no problem. And so when I'm on my trip, if money's really, really tight and I need to slow down a little bit in order to conserve that fuel, I probably would do so. But you are right. When you do add a lot of weight to your vehicle, it will affect your gas mileage. It will affect your ability to really do a whole lot. So all in all, I think I've done a pretty efficient job with it. I have a few more things that I'm gonna throw in the back to kind of maximize my space and my capacity, but I'm not too worried about it. All right, guys, hey, thank you for those questions. Those are great questions. I hope you guys have some more for me. I'd love to answer them. It's a fun thing to do for me. We're counting down, man. We are like 2 months away. 2 months away from heading out on the road for 4 months and making it happen. So, hey guys, thank you. Submit more questions if you got them. As always, have a great day. Stay tuned for more.